This is Lisa from MobileTechReview, and this is the Beelink GTR7, a small form factor PC, well, really small, obviously. It competes with Intel NUCs. Now, what's special about this one is AMD Ryzen inside, and I've been approached by companies who've asked us to review other small factor Ryzens, and they've always been a generation or two out of date. This one is using current generation Ryzen. Performance is good. It's sort of like an ASUS ROG Ally or ROG Ally in terms of performance, which means it actually got some game even. We're going to look at it now. So the Beelink GTR7 has been a pleasant surprise. I have to say, I wasn't too sure, but once we got in, I was like, this is quality stuff and well packaged and well made. It's got a metal casing, aluminum chassis, rigid, nice looking. Comes in 4 colors, 3 of which are playful. 4th is gray for those of you who, well, are not playful people, or you just want to have it in a very staid office environment. It's not the tiniest of mini PCs, but it's pretty darn compact, and I'm glad it's not any smaller because it allows them to drive an AMD Ryzen 7 7840HS. You can also get it as the Pro model with the Ryzen 9 at 65 watts for the CPU instead of the usual 35 to 45 watts. So that's already the kind of CPU you might expect to see in an ASUS ROG Zephyrus G14 or something like that, right? But crammed into this little package. So thermal headroom there. Fan, check, it has it. Will some heat come out of this thing? Yes, it will. Will you hear the fans occasionally? Sure, you will, but it's not horribly loud. And it's also quite upgradable. It's easy enough. We'll take a look at the internals and you'll see that for yourself. But yeah, you can upgrade the RAM, you can upgrade the SSD. But the nice thing about it is on Amazon, they're selling it, and on Beelink's website, $859, and on Amazon, currently there's a $120 off coupon, so you're going to pay, well, $120 less than that for the GTR7 model that we have, and that isn't bare bones like you often see with mini PCs and Intel NUCs. You get 32 gigs of DDR5 RAM, fast crucial RAM with that, and you get a 1 terabyte PCIe 4 X4 SSD. It's crucial also, not the fastest of the fastest, but pretty decent speeds. And you get Windows 11 Pro for your OS. So it's turnkey, in other words. You buy it and plug it in and you're ready to go. And speaking of plugging in, it's interesting. It uses a magnetic disc style connector. There's a little rubber plug on the bottom. You remove that and you plug it in. So there's no barrel jack or anything like that on the body. As you'd expect from a mini PC, usually you get a lot of connectivity. That's one of the selling points versus looking at a laptop. So you've got plenty of USB-A ports on the back. You have both USB-A and USB-C on the front. You have a headphone jack on the front. You also have a headphone, 3.5 millimeter on the back, 2 USB-C 4 ports, which means basically Thunderbolt 3 speeds on board. It's compatible with eGPUs for Thunderbolt 3. Yay, nice that. And you've got 2 Ethernet ports, 2.5 gigabit. 10 would have been nice. I'm not sure it's a deal breaker. I don't think that it is personally. So also, in case that wasn't enough, there's an HDMI 2.1 port full size and a full size display port 1.4. So you can connect like up to 4 monitors on this thing if that is what floats your boat. For graphics, we have AMD Radeon 780M, and don't expect dedicated graphics in something this teeny. But the nice news is, and for those of you who are watching like the Ally review, even though I don't consider these to be gaming PCs, the performance is good enough. You're looking at like PlayStation level performance here that you can game. Particularly if you stick to something like 1080p in medium settings, you could even play Cyberpunk, for example. Certainly older games like The Witcher 3, or Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty, and certainly esports titles, which are typically very undemanding. So nice. But for those of you who aren't even buying this for gaming, in terms of productivity and performance, you could do certainly Photoshop on this and it would do just fine. 2D kind of work is good. Obviously, if you're serious hardcore into 3D rendering, you're doing Blender or whatever, professionally or for school and you're upperclassmen or something like that, you might want more. But for casual playing with that stuff, it's good. For your casual video editor, up to 4K video editing, it's fine, just as fine as a reasonably powerful laptop would be that has AMD iGPU Radeon graphics on board. And they keep the thermals in check. So running benchmarks, playing games, I rarely saw the CPU go above 80 Celsius. That's rockin' good, considering the fact that if you look at the power curve on like benchmarks, it's pretty much straight line. It's not going up and down. It's not having to throttle or anything like that. So it's intriguing, really, to see something with this performance level and a current generation Ryzen processor inside. It does come with a VESA mount, or a partial VESA mount really, so you could attach this to the back of a monitor or a TV if you want to do so. And usually PCs don't come with any HDMI cables. This comes with a kind of medium length, like this length, high-speed HDMI cable, and a shorty one in case you are mounting it to the back of your monitor so you don't have a lot of clutter with the wires. Appreciate that they do that. The power supply for this, the wall wart, isn't really that big or bulky. The bulk of it, though, plugs right into the wall socket or into the power strip. It is not an intermediary kind of thing. For wireless connectivity, we have Intel Wi-Fi 6 with Bluetooth 5.2. Wi-Fi 6E would have been nice. I don't really want to complain about the 2.5 gigabit Ethernet, so I'm okay with that, but it would have been nice to see Wi-Fi 6E because this is a pretty high-end PC, really, and given the price, it's pretty impressive what you're getting for this, so I can only complain so much. It is a socketed card, as you'll see when we look in the internals right now. To get inside, this is the underside, just 4 Phillips head screws, small ones, and there's even a little rubber pull strip here, and you can take the metal plate right off there, and then you have to remove this plastic shroud. One screw is easy to see here. There's one in each corner, a little harder to see. Use a magnetic screwdriver if you have it, Phillips head again, to take off this next. All right, after you undo the 3 screws that hold the plastic shroud here, the fan and the heat sink, just give it a little shake. This will come out. There are wires connecting those, so be mindful of those, to be careful when you take that out. And here are the internals. So we have a 1 terabyte PCIe 4 SSD, crucial. Also, we have 2 RAM modules here, DDR5 fast RAM, also crucial, branded. So you got 2 slots. You can go up to 64 gigs. In other words, there's a second M.2 slot there, so you can put in a second SSD for storage expansion. And the Wi-Fi 6 card is socketed as well. So that's the Beelink GTR7, also available as the Pro if you want Ryzen 9 instead of Ryzen 7. And by the way, the GTR masking on the side in person really looks cool. It's very reflective. So when we hold it up in the studio lights, you see it a lot more. Anyway, I'm really pleased with this. It's nice to see an alternative to Intel mini PCs or NUCs that has Ryzen inside and a current generation with this level of performance and wattage, and it's easy enough to open it up. And if you want to upgrade the internals on this, the build quality is good, the thermals on this are good, the noise levels are good, so they have done a good job overall. There goes that word good again, because, well, it is. I'm Lisa from Mobile Tech Review. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more cool tech videos, and thumbs up if you like this vid.